stuff.
Yeah, you should
the
still follow us
hell?
on Twitter. Hey, we have a Glass Home Twitter now too, that you can follow. GlassHomeTV being the production company that we do all of our super cool shows with. Yep. Speaking of super cool shows, last like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, I had the chance to go out to San Jose and check out the Rockage Music Fest. It was a day of arcade games and music, and it was awesome. Tons of bands played. They all killed it. I saw a guy with like a 11-string bass tapping out all the music to Super Mario Brothers.
Nice.
Yeah, look at that. We
Jesus,
already
that's
got a
just
picture.
ridiculous.
Yeah, that guy's insane. He has an inlay of Joust on his bass. That thing's nuts. I've been playing bass for like 15 years. I was like drooling over that thing.
Who's your favorite bass player of all
My
time?
favorite bass player of all time? You really?
Yes.
Victor Wooten.
Nope, don't know.
Victor Wooten. Didn't think you would. He's a jazz bass player who's just killer. And then Christian McBride and James Jamerson. James Jamerson.
Whoa,
was
you
like
didn't
the Motown
say
bass player.
Les
Claypool?
Yeah, everybody says him.
Dude, I love Les Claypool, but
He's good.
I grew up listening, like, Flea and Les Claypool. When I started playing bass, I was really into them. And then I kind of just got into more stuff as I like started learning like jazz in college and shit like that.
Do you know which was the bass player in the Beatles? Which Beatle was the bass player?
Paul McCartney.
Yeah, good
And he
job.
was left-handed. Like
Hey,
me.
good job.
Hey, gosh golly. You think
You're
I
like
went to
Paul
school for
McCartney.
music?
Whoa, look at that.
Oh, that is Lizzie from the Glowing Stars. That is.
If my hand went out that far, I would totally touch her butt.
I bet you would.
It's like I
Give it a
am,
smack.
but
It's
in
like
another
you're
dimension.
floating. You took a portal back in time.
I did.
There you go. Reach out and smack it. So we actually interviewed them.
Bad touch.
And we're gonna roll that video now.
Oh, you
like,
interviewed the
yeah.
chick who's I just slapped her ass?
Yeah,
Nice.
we actually talked to her. She's a person. She's not just an object. Yes. And yeah, this is the Glowing Stars. They're a local SF band. They totally kill it. And they're going to be part of this super cool video that you're about to watch. It's all about Rockage. Right. Kill it, do it now. It's me, Blake Morris, and I am here at Rockage San Jose. And I am here with Eric, and you are the founder of Rockage. Is that correct?
I guess I'll accept that, yeah.
Yeah, does that work? Chairman, CEO, exalted king of Rockage.
That sounds better, actually.
You are the one with the power gauntlet. It's beyond a glove. It's become something for you to hold your mighty chalice in and drink for power. But no, dude, you have just put on a festival of video games and music here in lovely downtown San Jose. So let's start off basic. Like, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do and how this came about?
Yeah, I'm I guess first and foremost, I'm a promoter of live music in the South Bay. I put on concerts starting when I was 16 years old. I put on them at like churches and halls and stuff, and I just kept doing it as a hobby until a couple years later. Yeah, it's been a while. So I started off doing that, and I do also I work PR in the video game industry. I work with Sandbox Strategies and a couple other companies. So.
Nice. So it was just kind of a natural blending of the two things you were already doing.
Yeah, it was definitely inevitable. Yeah.
Awesome. So you've actually assembled a pretty sweet setup here. You've got a ton of old school arcade games, like games I haven't even seen before. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a Baby Pac-Man arcade machine.
No, Baby Pac-Man is great. Yeah, I've been tearing it up in that. What else have you been playing at the arcade?
Oh man, a little APB, because I love
got it.
APB. That was one of my all-time favorites. Right next to a 720-degree machine.
Skate or die.
Like, yeah, the kids watching this stuff at home just are not gonna understand the nostalgia factor for us. But yeah. And then you've also, did I see a Sega Saturn in there playing Bomberman?
There is a Sega Saturn with I think we only have 7 controllers this time with the multi-tap thing.
Only 7 controllers, dude?
7-player Bomberman for Sega Saturn, yes.
Dude, and then what else? A Super Nintendo playing Star Fox? Like,
yep.
I don't know. It's pretty crazy. So how did you get this all to come about? Like, did you just like call in some favors from all your like Rockstar friends?
Pretty much. I mean, like, it was one of those things where I've been working on this for 3 years, and I just had to get it done. I didn't want to quit on it, so I kind of did call in some favors, and we got lucky too with the great venue here. This is built in 1929. This is the San Jose Women's Club, and yes, the women own this, but they let us in just for the day. Yeah.
Well, that was very nice of them, because women are gamers too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
all shapes and sizes. Well, and that's another thing that's really cool about it is there's a lot of kids here. There's a lot of older people here, and like the in between.
My parents are here. Yes.
Yeah, you've really hit a broad spectrum of gamers and shown that you can rock out and still play Miss Pac-Man.
Right,
Yeah.
definitely. With the bands, I wanted to bring in music to introduce music to gamers that they might not know about, like just indie rock bands or anything like that. Also, a bunch of people that just like maybe like certain types of rock music. They don't know about chiptune or anything like that. So I wanted to introduce that to both parties.
Hey, and I am talking with the one and only Glowing Stars. How you guys doing today?
Good, how you doing?
Excellent.
Great, yeah.
Awesome. So, tell us a little bit about the music that you guys make. Who wants to go first? Who wants to pop?
Leave it up to him first.
Oh, come on, man. All right. Well, what do you want to know about it? So we have a Game Boy that's pre-programmed, that's sequenced with parts that sound sort of like video game music, but not really. But they're generated by the Game Boy Live. And then Lizzie plays guitar and sings. I play drums and occasionally keyboard and sing. And it all kind of comes together into this punk rock, chiptune, composed, arranged thing.
Nice, awesome. Now, bands that kind of blend these Game Boys and NESs and things like that with like live instruments are becoming more and more popular. Do you think it has more to do with like the availability and the cheapness of the equipment, or more to do with the nostalgia factor of like, hey, check it out, they're making music with a Game Boy?
I think with the bands, it's more about the nostalgia factor in a lot of cases. Because once you've already collected a drum set and a guitar amp and a guitar and all those things, then adding the Game Boy on top of that is, like, at that point you've spent so much money that I'm assuming there's not much. I mean, it's cheaper than buying like a laptop and using that as a synthesis rig for backing tracks, but I think a lot of that is nostalgia. There's a bunch of great bands coming around that were already like good musicians before. Onomonoguchi was that way. Revengineers just came out. Crash Faster is a band now, and that was a huge expansion. But it was like, they already were good musicians, and so I don't think it was. I think it was mostly nostalgia in those cases. But for a lot of people, just making chiptune, it's, hey, I have this Game Boy. It's in my desk drawer. Hey, look, I can make music with it.
Yeah, I think more often than not, it's more about the nostalgia, because even if it was the cheapness factor, like, no one's actually putting their music out there. It has to be at least listenable first.
Guys, I'm here with Gene Bodine, and Gene, I just watched you tear it up at Rockage XF, man. You are quite the bass player.
I guess.
So humble. I mean, don't be humble, man. You just took a 12-string bass and like did some crazy technical tap work and just shredding and just general awesomeness. So, I did hear you covering Super Mario Brothers in there on the bass, but beyond that, you just seemed to do a lot of music that was just your own thing.
Yeah, I have a solo CD, and I just go to different places and just play my own music. And an event like this where there's video game stuff, I'll occasionally throw in a couple, Zelda or Mario or Final Fantasy or Street Fighter or something.
Give a couple shout outs.
Shout outs to like games.
Yeah.
How about King of All Cosmos?
Giving a shout out to the King of All Cosmos here live. No, so how did you get involved with Rockage?
He just called me up. I played at California Extreme every year. I collect arcade games too, so I've been involved with California Extreme for probably a good 6, 7, 8, 9 years. So I've been bringing machines to it, and when I started doing the solo bass thing, I said, "Hey guys, you mind if I just kind of play in the hallways?" So that's what I've been doing for I think like 5 years now, and I guess last year they set up a kind of a chiptunes type show, and I'm like, hey. I kind of play here anyway. You want to just, throw me on? So that's how I got involved with him, and he organized that show. It's Eric Finale, and he put this together. So he invited me.
So all the chiptune guys are cool with you, even though you don't have an NES or a Game Boy anywhere?
Yeah, I didn't do it, but I have like a bit crusher effect, so I can actually do the chiptune sound. I just don't have any I don't have my full setup together, so. If this was like a month from now, I could probably pull off some realistic Nintendo type sounds. So.
Bleeps and bloops. So people can check that out like somewhere on the internet, right?
There's nothing on. I'm gonna have a CD in the future that's gonna have a lot of game themed stuff. I'm hoping to do it eventually. You know, maybe have it so it's like just a free download, because I legally can't sell, you know,
Video game music.
Yeah. But you know, someday I've learned a bunch of them, so hopefully I'll put a bunch together and do it. I have a Ms. Pac-Man, Pole Position. There's some Street Fighter videos online. There's Zelda online. So yeah, there's stuff out there.
I guess that's it. There we go.
That one guy, his name was Matt Payne.
Matt Payne.
Get it? Max Payne.
Ooh, zing.
Yay! And I like
get
how
it.
that one guy gave a shout out to Katamari Damacy.
Yeah, dude, that was an awesome show. I gotta say, like, I played a ton of video games. I met some really cool people. I got a free bottle of hot sauce.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was good hot sauce. I'm not gonna pimp the name of the hot sauce though, because it wasn't that great. Yeah. But it was really awesome. The bands were great. They all killed it, and I thank them so much for talking with me, letting me come down there, film, and just kind of be a jackass as I normally am, you know.
Yeah,
They had to put
not
up with
much
me.
has changed.
I was like throwing bottled waters everywhere because they weren't cold enough, and then they weren't warm enough. Like so many people.
I
got
only
hit
said
in the
red
face.
M&Ms.
Yeah. Dude, I must have broken at least 5 arcade machines, just punched fists through them. Wow. No, I mean, it's great. I miss arcades so much. I grew up in the 80s going to arcades and stuff like that, and it's such a huge part of, like, my childhood nostalgia. Like, I love music. These are, like, my 2 passions in life right here, music and video games. So anything that combines the 2, I'm all for. Rockage was a great time. I hope they do more. I hope they do more out here in, like, Oakland and San Francisco, so I don't have to drive as far. But if they don't, I hope at least they do more shows like this with bands like this, because video games and music, like, there's such a culture behind it. Like, the Super Mario Brothers music is so iconic. Well, tons of video game music is iconic and appreciated. So it's just an obvious marriage, and yeah, it totally rocks. You can check out our full interviews very, very soon on our YouTube channel, which we will be plugging on our actual webpage, which is GlassHome.tv. That's right. If you want to see what we here at GlassHomeTV are up to outside of the Week in Geek, that is the place to go. I don't know if we have an image for it. I didn't prepare everybody for this. I didn't tell them I was going to be talking about this. So there you go. Maybe we'll put a link in the chat room.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. At any rate, moving on. Next week is going to be huge and epic for us.